The Pro Series projector headlights here are going to be an affordable quality option for all 2009 to 2018 Ram owners who are looking to make a drastic change to the front end while also drastically improving your lighting at the same time. Now, these particular headlights will feature what is called the midnight black color theme, along with that modern projector and an abundance of secondary lighting, which we will cover in a bit. Price point for the Pro Series is going to fall right around that $600 price point. And the install itself is good enough to achieve a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. And I would say take at least an hour from start to finish, maybe a little bit more. But if you hang with me for a bit, we'll walk you through that job later in the video. The Pro Series that we have here today are a very nice set of lights for roughly a third of the cost of those Nova Series headlights, and will again apply specifically to the halogen equipped 4th gen trucks out there. Now, Alpha's goal when designing these particular lights was to take that 5th gen 2500 design and apply it to the 09 to 18 1500s, and I think the end result is pretty rad. But first up, what do you say we talk about your primary headlight here? And the Pro Series is basically going to convert your dated reflector style halogens to a modern projector. Now, that's going to improve your nighttime visibility and throw, thanks to the brighter, more focused beam of light, along with improving your appearance, because I don't know, I just think a projector looks a hell of a lot better, but that's just me. Now, the big difference between the Pro Series that we have here and the one step up, the Lux Series, is that the Pro Series is still going to utilize an H7 halogen bulb for both your high and low beams, whereas the Lux Series will feature an LED-based high and low beam. So for those of you guys wondering at home what the main difference between the two is, well, there you go. But outside of the main lighting, the rest of the Pro Series and that Lux Series we just mentioned are going to be virtually identical. But for starters, what do you say we talk about some of your secondary lighting? As I mentioned earlier, you have a lot going on here. Now, next to your projectors, as you guys can see, you'll find 4 individual white LEDs, which will serve as a running light along with the bar located in the middle. Now, those 2 areas are basically going to illuminate anytime your parking lights or your headlights have been switched on, and will make for a very cool and unique look when combined. Now, along with those running lights, the very bottom of the Pro Series here will be your turn signal. That's obviously going to flash amber whenever your signals or hazards have been switched on. But instead of a more traditional just flash on and off, the Pro Series projectors kick things up a notch and actually implement a modern sequential into that beam or pattern with those signals and hazards. And that's certainly something cool to point out here with the Pro Series. And if that wasn't enough, the Pro Series also feature what is called startup sequence. Now, this is basically a combination of those parking lights or DRLs in addition to the turn signals flashing in a random sequence whenever you lock or unlock your truck. And to my knowledge, at this time, the Alpha Series that we have here, along with the Morimoto headlights, are 2 of your only options that we currently offer with this feature in the category, and is certainly worth pointing out. But lighting aside, the Pro Series will feature a combination of a black ABS housing topped off with a durable, impact-resistant polycarbonate lens. Now, that lens has been given a UV coating to help prevent any fading or yellowing, along with an anti-fog coating to keep these lights working great in really tough weather conditions, and will actually help prevent moisture buildup over the years. Now, these particular lights do feature their midnight or alpha black option, and that's basically going to deliver a very dark and aggressive look for the housings along with that projector base, and probably is my favorite option out of the 3. Now, you can also find these with what is called a jet black look. It's going to deliver a similar appearance, black housing, but the projector base, instead of being black, will be chrome on those options, so you're getting kind of a little bit of a stealth mix with a little bit of flash. Now, last but not least, you also have a chrome option, which is going to be a great choice for Ram owners looking to match a chrome package truck, or you just really dig that bright factory look. Now, before we get into the installation, I just want to remind everybody that these lights have been given both the DOT and SAE stamp of approval, making them legal for use in all 50 states. Now, on top of that, the Pro Series lights are also backed by a 2-year limited warranty, which I will tell you, is very hard to come by in the category at this price point. Now the lights do also include everything needed for the installation, including your new H7 bulbs, which are already pre-installed for you, and that's gonna make the job a bit easier at the end of the day. But now we wanna show you what it's like to get these things in place on your Ram at home. So without further ado, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown right now. Tools I use for this install include a 3/8 ratchet, long extension, 10mm socket, 10mm wrench, panel removal tool, and a roll of tape. All right, getting started here, guys. Not terribly difficult to remove the headlights in your Ram. Now, what you have to do first is tackle the 10mm bolts, one up top. There's one way down there, which you will need that long extension we just told you about. And then finally, there is a little clip in the back here, which we'll show you in a minute. But first up, I'm gonna start by removing this 10mm bolt up front. All right, guys, our next bolt, again, is way down in there. We're gonna do our best to show you, but again, it's a little tough to see because of the location of the bolt. Now, for this install, or removal, I should say, I like to use my long extension, 10mm socket. I like throwing a little piece of tape on there because of how that bolt is situated. Kind of snugs up the bolt in the socket and prevents it from falling out once it's removed. All right, with our two bolts up front removed or loose, we can now get to the rear clip. In order to do so, we need to take our panel removal tool, get it behind this Christmas tree clip, and remove it. Now we can get the panel out of the way to gain access to our clip. So this next step is going to be very hard to see as we sit right now, but once the headlight's out, we'll demonstrate what it is exactly you need to do to remove the headlight. But basically, you're going to want to stick your hand in here. You'll feel a little tab that's securing the headlight, and you want to pull that down, and that clip will release the headlight. All right, with that rear clip released, at this point now, we can remove it from the truck and unplug our harness. Slide the red clip up. All right, guys, with the headlight removed, now you have a better idea of how this retainer clip works. When you get in here for the very first time, again, the rear of the retainer clip will be in the down position. This is gonna secure the rear of the headlight. Basically, in order to remove the headlight, push up on that clip, and that will release the rear clip. And at that point, you should be able to pull the factory headlight out through the front of the truck. Now that we have a chance to have the Pro Series headlight next to our factory headlight here on the table, they really couldn't be any more different, right? Modern looking headlight over here with the Pro Series. You got that really cool looking black housing. But more importantly, the modern projector, which we've already covered, of course, and the abundance of your auxiliary or daytime running lights. For instance, your quad LEDs right here, along with two large LED strips down at the bottom. Those are gonna make up your running lights, but also they're gonna help make up part of that cool sequence that we talked about earlier whenever you lock or unlock your truck, which we'll show you here in a minute once we get everything installed. The stock headlight, it is what it is, right? Reflector style housing, so you're not getting that more modern projector over here, and as such, you're not gonna get that brighter, more focused beam of light. Just a dated style housing or headlight. And basically the Pro Series is going to modernize the headlight experience on your Ram and totally make for a very unique look, not only just in appearance without the lights actually on, but once those lights are fired up, you see the projector, you see the cool LED running lights. It's really gonna make for a very neat look once we get them on the truck. So speaking of which, let's bolt this thing in. We'll get them both wired up and show you guys what's up. Now, before we actually get to installing the housing into our opening here, a couple things I do want to point out. First and foremost, no need to transfer over any bulbs from your factory headlights into the Pro Series options. Always a nice thing to point out. And for the most part, guys, this is a complete plug and play job. No additional wiring unless Pro Series headlights do include an additional harness if and only if you wish to add daytime running light functionality to your Ram if it's not already equipped. Basically, the moment you key your truck on, those LED running lights will fire up. Those will still also turn on now if you don't install that harness. All you have to do is flick your headlight switch over one to the running lights. So that's entirely up to you guys at home, but for the purposes of this video, we're gonna get these wired up and show you how they work. All right, so now we need to connect our factory wiring harness to the new Pro Series headlights. we're going to take our black connector, plug it into the physical socket there on the light itself. Now we're going to take our green connector. We're actually going to go to the blue, white, and black wiring harness right here. Make sure that seats. All right, now we just need to install the new housing in reverse order. Now that we have the headlight in place, we're going to stick our hand back up into the fender area to access the rear of the headlight. Remember that little clip we talked about earlier? Well, now we're just going to simply pull that down to secure the rear of the light. And with that done, we can reattach our access panel with our Christmas tree clip. Now we just have to reinstall our two 10mm bolts. I have my 10mm deep socket here doing the old tape trick, because again, we are going deep down into that opening. This always seems to work for me. If you guys have a different method at home, including some sort of magnetic socket, that's great. But the basic idea is we need to fish this down, secure this 10mm bolt. I like to get it started, but not tighten it yet, because we finally have to do this top bolt here as well. So we got that bottom bolt started, but again, not fully tightened up. That means we can take our top 10mm bolt and have some play in the headlights still, because again, we didn't tighten that all the way. Line up that hole or that tab and get this started. We got our 10mm socket on our long extension one last time. Go ahead and finish tightening this down. And with the driver's side complete, simply repeat that process on the passenger side, and that's gonna knock out your install. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this review and install of the Pro Series 2500 style projectors available for your 09 to 18 Ram at home. And keep in mind, for more cool products and videos like this, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.